welcome again to the roundtable. This is your host, Pastor Patience, and today we will be discussing some trendy events in our community. We want to say welcome, share the broadcast, and get ready to make all your contribution, your comments, your opinions. You are welcome to the roundtable. It's a graphics.
Yes, my dear.
Welcome, welcome. How are you?
Very good. Delighted to be here.
Oh, it's good to have you again.
Mhm.
Yeah, how's your day going?
Oh, as usual, it was busy from the
Busy.
beginning. Now we need to slow down to be on air to bring some clarity to our people.
Yeah.
So we all need a sacrifice. So I'm happy that I'm able to be here today.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for making the sacrifice. It's
you're
not,
welcome.
with all our busy schedules and everything, people, whenever we invite them and they show up, it means that it's a sacrifice.
That's right.
Nothing comes easy. So we need to
That's
appreciate everything something, whether it's a little thing, whether it's a big thing, we need to appreciate whatever, you know, that is done unto us or, is given to us. We need to appreciate that. So
that's right. Thank you.
today we'll be discussing training events, and hopefully we'll have our other panelists here. So we have been looking in the news, and we've been listening to all the different stories. So from your end, uh, before we go into that, I would just want you to make your opening comment or your opening remarks before we go into our uh, training event for this program. Yeah. So you're welcome, Mr.
Yeah,
Griffith.
thank you. There are so many training events happening around the world, but I
Yeah.
will
We're
localize
talking
it on
about Liberia.
Africa. We localize it on Africa. That whole
Yeah.
we look.
Let's remain, not remain, but let's concentrate for today.
That's
Let's
right.
let's capture Liberia in our discussion. And but before you go into the training event, just give your opening remarks before we start diving deep. Go
Listen,
ahead.
it's always a blessing to be on this show. So I hope the listener will pay attention to key things that we're going to talk about. And we want them to go and do their own research to verify some of the things we're going to talk about. Because if we all can put in time to research, we all will take away the myth that we hold so strong and begin to uphold the law that is good for everybody to abide by. So what we're trying to say is that we as Liberian, we need to build a better Liberia, and we need to know about how our country foreign document help our country to run for the good of every Liberian. So that's what we're going to look into today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. One question that I keep asking people before we go into our training event: who's supposed to build Liberia? Who do we expect to make things better in Liberia? Who should we expect to develop or to bring Liberia on par with other developed nations? Are we looking up to people or that are outside Liberia, non-Liberians, or should we ourselves take that initiative and someone will say take the bull by its horn and do
Yes.
exactly what we ought to do? What do you think?
Yeah. So the answer is very simple. Liberian has the right legally as citizen, and also by fact of they dwelling in that particular space or land on the face of the earth, have the sole responsibility to develop their land. I will always appreciate anyone that partner with Liberia in developing Liberia through partnership, through interaction, through interexchange, through whatever mutual means, because we live in a global village and the world is highly connected. And I always appreciate whoever that partner with Liberia for the good of Liberia, not for the destruction of Liberia.
But that's true. That's true. When you partner with people, it should be for the best.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it should be for the best because we all want, uh, the best for Liberia. Um,
Yes.
a couple of days ago, I mean, we just celebrated 177 years old. Liberia just celebrated that, and people all over the place. My Christmas, no, not Christmas. My 26 on you. My 26 on
That's
you.
right.
Um, do you think people should be asking that question? My 26 on you. I know it's an age-old tradition. Who should be celebrating their birthday? Because the people that can say my
Yes.
26 on you, they are not the one that said that that's not a birthday, but they want gift
Yes.
on that day. So who should we celebrate, on that day?
So on that day, it is not about giving big or small gift to individual. On that day, community dweller, churches, organization, whatever association you are part of, it should be making a visible appreciation, some organized festivity that will bring people together to share the goodness that Liberia has brought them on her birthday. So I look forward for people organizing, doing meaningful stuff, playful, celebrating. That's what I celebrate on that day, merry making. And in the process, if you want to offer group something, it's from the merit of your heart to make that celebration more enjoyable.
Thank you. What do you think about the celebration that usually go on? Where we have this big indoor program, we call it orator, and we spend thousands and thousands of dollars on that program. Meanwhile, we see there are needs that we need to meet within the country. There are specific needs. There are needs that are urgent, but yet we are using the
Yes.
little we have to have the elaborate program. If somebody were to ask you, is this program, is it necessary? Should we continue this tradition of having this elaborate 26 program, whereas you don't have uh, uh, medication in the hospital, you're not paying the doctors the kind of money you ought to pay them, they are being underpaid, educational material, they are insufficient, and all kinds of things. We can go on and on with the needs. Is this kind of program, is it necessary that we spend all that kind of money on one single
Yes.
day? What is your opinion on that celebration? On that
Yeah.
we could have for something
Yeah.
something different, that will still contribute, or that will still tell people that we are celebrating.
Yes. So, as I said from the first comments that I made about the celebration, I said bring organization together, bring the community together, and most of this celebration of the community and people, they spend their own money. So the government can have a program, but the cost associated with the program, that's why I have question about. You can have a program, microphones are everywhere. Government had these means to give speech. Government had a means to bring people together, but it shouldn't be too expensive.
Mm.
For example, you can get dinner, any budget, according to our GDP and the standing we have now, you can plan within the $100 budget on that day. It will not be that flamboyant. A
Mm.
$100,000 you can spend it, but I do believe they spend way more than what I'm just saying. So what I'm saying, we shouldn't do away with it completely, but we can use that day to create an awareness. It's a
Mm.
day to even elaborate on where Liberia came from the last year and where Liberia is, about the project Liberia has gone through, and to say thank you to some people who are put in the work on that day. Who are the teachers? Who are the doctors? Who are the
Mm.
nurses? Who are the farmers?
Yeah.
So the celebration they have been having for the last 20 years have not reached to those I have just named. They just have a big ballroom celebration costing around 1 million, 2, 3, or 5 million, and sometimes hitting costs. If we were a rich nation, we won't have problem with that amount. But not when we are so poor that we can even pay adequately for a police officer that are working. We have to be owing them 1 or 2 months and be bargaining to pay them 2 months and owe them 3 more months on that day of celebration.
Mm.
So the wasteful spending on that day is what I'm against. But the program itself is a national pride. It can continue. But let know where we are with humility.
Mm. Thank
Not
you.
people using the access to have to the national budget or cake to just use it as a means to extort the nation. And I think that's where the problem lies.
Thank you, Mr. Griffith.
You're welcome.
Mr. Wolokoli, what do you think? What's your opinion on this elaborate celebration of July 26th, when we can even use that budget for something that is very present, for something that is very urgent? What's your opinion on the budget?
Well, I've, mm, I, I don't to do too much celebration here. I
Hmm.
know in you know in the U.S. and around in other places, other developed nations have gone to the fact that people use their national their nation birthday as a day of service.
Hmm.
The president goes to Walter Reed, go to the cemetery, go to the unknown soldiers thing tomb, and lay a wreath. Or I remember Obama used to go to the food shelter and the soup kitchen and volunteer and stuff like that.
Hmm.
In order for what you are saying for us to do it, I cannot blame the government for this. I blame us, the citizen.
Why? Is
because
it the citizen that organize it, or is the government that
no,
organize it?
let me get you why.
Yeah, go
My
ahead.
26 on you.
Mm,
That statement
yeah.
alone, when people say it, where people feel entitled that somebody's supposed to give them gifts or give them something for the nation birthday. That's the problem. So guess what?
Mm,
The government is trying to follow what the citizens are doing. What that leads me to what that leads me and tells me is that we don't have leaders. We have people in a position of authority.
mm.
We have people in a position of authority that we should be the leader should be leading to say 26 is not for you, the citizen, it's for you to give back to the country that you so-called love and dear and admire. You're
That's
supposed to be
right.
going out there to say, let's go volunteer at the soup kitchen. Let's go volunteer at the homeless shelter. Let's take this day to clean up our national thing. Let's take pride in this. But everybody is people going out to go get drunk. People going out to go do a bunch of stuff. We know in the U.S. and other places, people shoot fireworks to say, oh, to celebrate. That's that's as much as people party. Or the other party, man, you and friends and family get together at somebody's house, at one person's house, and celebrate it like that. But people go to work, but everything is closed. Even private businesses are closed. So
Thank you. You
that
know, so long time ago, when we were growing up, uh, it was more like, I stand to be corrected, but it was more like mandatory for people to paint their houses, right? You were supposed to clean your environment, make sure that, you know, everywhere was clean, the houses were painted and everything before the 26th. I don't know whether it was mandatory or it was just a tradition that people just decided to do those things. So this 26, this go 26, was it something like that? Did people clean up? Because this is Liberia now. So wherever you occupy, if you are dressing up to look good, you dressing the children up to look good, then what about the home? What about your community? Are we doing that? Did you see semblance or something like that when you spend the 26th in Liberia?
your question for me?
Yeah, Manchester.
Oh no, everything around here was, you know, in a sense, commercialized, self-centered. That's what I saw. You know, people were, people dress up. I saw kids, kids dress up for the 26th. Like I said, the fact that people have the audacity to call people or go see people, and you got people in the government who complain and say, oh, on the 26th they're supposed to give us back a rice for the 26th.
Can you imagine?
Even in private businesses, I hear people saying, oh, they used to give us back a rice for the 26th, they ain't giving it to us this time. They feel they're supposed to get that.
The entitlement.
That's the entitlement. So, so when it comes, man, I know people say, "Oh, locally, you like to just, rain on people, parade, and all that stuff." I'm saying those are not things that we should be doing stuff that is not centered on us. It should be centered on the country.
But let me
What
bring
you
my
do?
point
Yeah,
in,
go
brother.
fix. Yeah.
So my question to my brother is, who is the country? The people of the country. So suppose enjoy themselves. Is it not the country enjoying themselves?
But it is the country. It is the country's birthday, so they should do something that the country will benefit from. You got your personal birthday and you got the country's birthday.
Yeah.
So if you're celebrating with the country, then do something that will impact the country. That's what we should be doing. That's how I see it. So even if you cleaning your environment, it's going to be impacting the country because you are keeping your environment clean and it's hygienic, and people are not going to your community or the people within that community, they're not going to be getting sick because you have done something, towards hygiene.
Yes, because one thing that I know is that on that day is when some people really eat to get full.
So when you eat all the whole from the beginning of the year to that time, when you
Like,
don't have a full stomach, that day is a
there,
special day,
there
right?
are some days in Liberia that everybody stomach get full. That Christmas day,
But
that
it's
New Year
true.
day,
That's a
that July
festive.
26th day.
Yeah,
That those
yeah.
3 days there, my brother. There when all Liberian can say, I really ill.
Well,
Okay,
that's not
do you
bad.
know?
I mean, people can
Do
cope, right?
you know the mindset of that? Do you know what that means?
What
That
that means.
instead of we are a country that we are always trying to survive, not thrive.
And that's why
We
we coming to the constitution now. So you get hit all right to the place where we needed to be now and start surviving and start living right.
Well,
we need to
that
be
that's a
thriving,
serious
not
thing. That
surviving.
that is a
That's
serious
right.
that is a serious point
And that's
because
why we are kicking off from now.
yeah,
So that we can leave the
if you
survival
if you
mode
look
and
if you
get
look
into
at the
striving
nation,
mode, right?
yeah, Mr. Griffiths, when we look
Yes.
around us, we see that people are just concerned. When we're talking about people, we're talking about the majority because there are
Hmm.
few that are, elite and they are doing, you know, things in their own way. But the bulk of the people, they are just depending on what they can get for that day and how they can see the next day, you know, to survive the
Hmm.
next day, which that is no life. People should not be living like that.
That's right.
So at 177 years old, what do you think Liberia should be doing right now? How do you think the people should live right now? Or the way forward for Liberia? Mr. Toll.
So it's economics. The way forward is the economics business of Liberia. Liberia has not engaged national building. The first building block of a nation is the elected government officials that are given the power to build that country. Liberian government of old and now has not done what a nation that must be thriving should do.
Hmm.
That is to build certain pillars, certain platform
Hmm.
that the people of your nation can begin to hang on, get on board. What am I talking about? Create an avenue, the
Mm-hmm.
avenue of industrialization. The citizen of the country, the majority of them, about 80% of the citizens of Liberia, cannot on themselves bring about industrialization to Liberia. It is the government of Liberia foresightness in budgeting, in management of the resources, the give and take with international partners is what brings about national treasure, things that individual can bring through this government platform, and then the government can say, okay, we can help you to do better. For example, the railway that are in America, it did not start full-fledgedly as American government initiative. It started as private business.
Mm.
And when the government saw the importance, they invested into it to link the nation so that the breadth and length of this country can be connected. It was in the interest of the government, and they saw that it brings jobs. So the government brought it forth. If you talk about the street that in America also, most of them are private. Only few are state and federal owned. But the government again came in and said, hey, we can make this big and put a lot of money. I will come to the motor industry. For GMC, you see today, they are not government owned. They are private, but they are national airlines of America because what the government make them to strive big. 2008, you were here when Obama became president. They were falling apart. He put billions of dollars in them so that they cannot be wiped off the face of America in the world. They prop them up. Every year, the budget of America, they pour, if not trillion, billions into American businesses. So let me come home to Liberia.
Go ahead.
No, so let me come home to Liberia. It is the government of Liberia responsibility to protect Liberia entrepreneur and contractor and people that establish themselves as contractor to build roads. It is the responsibility of the Liberian government to create a platform to build them up so that they can hire more Liberians, so that most of the projects that are in Liberia can begin to be owned and managed by Liberians.
Okay.
To protect Liberian jobs. So if the government cannot use the national budget to protect herself, her citizenry, her citizens cannot compete with outside investors, like the American, like the Chinese, like the Indians, like the Lebanese. They come into Liberia being multi-millionaires. They already have the start up to do something great. No Liberian can compete with them on that platform to create jobs and have contract from government. Because we, up to 177 years as a nation and now one government, have not created the platform for our nation, our nation to strive.
Thank you so much. Mr. Wolokoli, the last time the orator made a comment during, a deliberation at the program, and it was all over. I mean, it was like a wildfire all over the place. And she made mention of Liberia has done more for U.S. than the other way around. What do you make of her comment?
She said in the present tense, she said Liberia is doing more for the U.S. than U.S. doing for Liberia.
Okay. What do you make of that statement? Is it true?
No.
Why do you think it's not?
What? Show me. I went on my show the other day, the Eagle Talk. I asked, I had a $1,500 LD bet with the people to name me the American company that is in Liberia. I know people will want to say Firestone. Firestone is not owned by Americans; it's owned by Japanese since 1986. All right.
Go ahead.
So, like I said before, her speech was well written, well developed. Delivery. The delivery was great. But that part that she put in there about America and single out America was asinine. It was not useful to the speech, because everything else she said about everything that was true, that needed to be addressed. Nobody is talking about it, but talking about the American part and the charge d'affaires leaving. That's it. A whole message was lost in translation, and all we're talking about is the American part.
That's true. And she was very vague. I mean, she was not specific to say, to point out a particular area in which,
that's the thing. A good friend of mine gave a thing called TESS, TESS. Let me read it. Let me read it to you, right? Where she should have, where she was serious about what she was talking about, what she meant, what she was saying. She would have been honest about what she was saying, so she can hold people accountable. The people who she's supposed to call out in that speech, right? The Chinese, the Lebanese, the Indians. Those are the people who she was supposed to call out in the speech. I'm trying to get this thing. Hold on. Let me go to my page. I think I posted it on my page. But where it said, where I have it. Where is it? Come on. It's called TESS, right? This is it. The Chinese, the Lebanese, the Indians are taking TESS, taking our natural resources. That's one T. The E, exploiting our laborers, meaning the citizen. The S, seizing our business opportunity. Another S, sending the profit out of our country. TESS. That's what the Chinese, the Lebanese, the Indians are doing. So her making that statement and not calling the people out. What American business do you see in Liberia? The people that are working at the United States Embassy, they get paid good. When they retire, they have a good retirement. In Liberia, she talked about Social Security. Social Security in Liberia is useless. Social Security is something that more people should talk about. I'm going to do an interview with a couple of Social Security bosses in the coming weeks. But it was lost in translation because she put America, she put that boogeyman over there, and instead of looking over there, they're looking on the other side.
So why should we expect another country to do more for us than we do for ourselves? Why should we expect that?
That's the problem. We always want to point finger, but we keep forgetting there's three of them pointing right back at us. You see, we always want to point fingers. Oh, the West. Oh, what Liberians and Africans have to realize, they have to come to realization, is America is going to do what's in America's best interest.
Of course.
Europeans are going to do what's in European best interest. The Chinese are going to do what's in the Chinese best interest. The Indians are going to do what's in the Indians' best interest. When our Liberians, who are in a position of authority but think they are leaders, going to do what's in Liberia or in Africa's best interest? That is the question that we should be asking. When are the Liberian people going to do what's in Liberian people's best interest? Because we got people, you got people who are going to justify the stealing. That's all the people that got indicted recently. They got indicted for the stealing. They laid a document out there, but you have people who didn't benefit a fraction of that. People are over there defending the likes of Samuel Twer and stuff like that. But if you go to the houses, they don't even have a 15 running water in the house. They don't have food to eat. but they are defending somebody who embezzled, accused of embezzling millions of dollars. You got Senator McGill and Bill Torrey, who were accused of stealing millions of dollars. But people in Riverside and Margibi elected them to become senators. Then you ask, and you say, you want America to do something for you?
You know, our population, it's it's more than 50% illiterate, and it's kind of difficult for people to really understand the interplay of politics.
That's a cop out.
Yeah,
that's a cop out.
So that's it make it difficult for them to understand what is going on. That's the only excuse we have.
No, that's a cop out. You know, the young people say cap. I'm not saying you're lying, Pastor, but that's a lie. They know that this person is doing so stuff, but they want to vote for that person, and when that person is that person from my tribe. That person from my tribe.
In other words, people are they are not looking at the credibility of people, and they don't want the good of the country. They just believe that they should go tribal line.
Yes, plain and simple. Plain and simple. It's because he's from my tribe, so hey, I will support him.
I still beg to differ, but we will get there. That's one of the reasons why we want our people to know the Constitution, know what is in it. As a citizen, what are your rights? What should we expect from our leaders, those we place in public offices? What should be the kind of character that we place there? You know, the more we talk, the more we bring the information, the better people get to know the things they have to do, the kind of decision they have to make. I think people need to be properly informed. The lack of information is what causing all the chaos that we see.
But Pastor, I'll say to you like this: in Liberia, here, we got citizens repeating fabricated story that I will give you two. I want to think about the third one. I will give you one. Remember the lies that everybody say? Victoria Turbo said she saw white hands that killed her husband, right? That's a lie. It's not in her book. Anybody that tell you that, tell them say that's a lie, tell them to show you in the book. That's one. Two, growing up, that's what we heard. White hands. Even the woman the woman husband said, that her husband she saw white hands that killed her husband. Anybody who have not read that book, they will still be repeating that lies. That's one. Two, you got citizens that say the job of the representative and senator is legislation, oversight, and representation. That's a lie. The Constitution does not say that. The job of a legislator is to pass laws. You have legislative oversight. The legislative oversight you have that if a law is something that is bad, you have the legislative oversight to see how you can improve the law to make sure that stuff is not passing. Your main job as a legislator is to pass laws. But you got citizen legislator go and lie about that. You ask a sitting representative right now or senator, they'll repeat that lie to you, and you tell them, say, show me the Constitution that is there. And they will tell you, say, oh, that's how we've been doing it here.
No, they have their own code of conduct in a
no. We're not saying
let's
go in there. I'm just trying to tell you.
Yeah, let me hold you there because Griffiths wanted to say something a while ago before he lost the train of thoughts. Yeah.
No, but I mean, many of what you're saying is on point. But again, the citizens led to comment on the Chinese, the Indians, and the Lebanese. As again, I said, I had no problem with them. The Liberian government engaged those people to legally come to Liberia and do business. None of those people has come to Liberia in the violation of Liberian law without the Liberian government giving them the authorization. Why we need to hold our government official accountable is that we need to be participator in our government. When former President Weah took power, he said Liberians will no longer be spectator in their own country. But Liberians were more than spectator in their own country. That's why they voted him out. Two, my brother talked about Bill Traore and McGee, the people voting for them. Again, I can't put it at the feet of the people. I put it at the feet of the National Election Commission. They are another platform. They need to vet those that are in good standing with the Liberian law. If there's a problem with the character of any person who has committed a crime in Liberia, it is the Election Commission to vet. And if these people are in contempt, it is the Election Commission that have the right to reject or accept. So when it comes to the masses again, I will always be sympathetic to them, because whoever has money will always go far in election. In Liberia, anywhere around the world, people that have the most resources will most often have the upper hand to win election. So it is the platform that we build as Liberians. That's what's going to protect Liberians' interests. So I don't have nothing against the Lebanese, the Chinese, whoever. We need to be holding ourselves responsible, because it is a shame for Chinese, for example, to sell sand in Liberia. It should stop right now. If I'm in the government, it should stop right now.
In fact, the liberalization policy, there are certain businesses that are exclusively for Liberians, but everything has changed right now.
Okay, Pastor,
go ahead.
Griffin. I want you to, what you just said, we're pointing fingers again. And we got this three.
No, I point finger to Liberian government. No, the only finger I'm pointing is to Liberian government, not to any national.
Hold on. Let me explain what I'm saying. You just point the finger at the NEC.
Yes.
NEC, let me finish. The law is, we're talking about Constitution. The law is, NEC is not there to vet candidates. NEC have the law on the give the stipulation on what it takes for you to be a candidate. Bill Traore and McGill were not charged by the Liberian government for any crime.
So
any crime.
You can't blame the people for voting for them.
Hold on.
Innocent until proven guilty, my brother.
Hold on. I want to get facts.
Yes,
I want to get facts.
Get facts.
All right. So they were not indicted or tried for any crimes.
Yes.
But the onus was on the people of if and when people really wanted to stop this thing, someone could have went and sued the NEC to not make McGill and Traore to be on the ballot. But
wait. Those people are going to have a problem because they have not been charged.
Let me finish.
They have not been charged.
You blame the NEC.
No, I did not blame them. I said they were to vet, and you said they don't vet, and I agree with that. But then why? Okay, wait. Why did you call these two people out when you just said they have not been charged nor convicted? So why call them out to hold their character in contempt?
So let me tell you why. I was in Liberia here. I will answer that question. After I said that, let me finish. So it was on the Unity Party or opposition party, right? So for somebody from within MyGB or in River Cess to go and sue the NEC because of what they were accused of to make that happen. If I had lived in MyGB, if I was resident of MyGB or River Cess, I'm against to Wolokoli. Please let me finish. Would have sued. This was put out. But the Unity Party should have sued for that. NEC does not vet candidates.
I agree with you. We don't have to go back and forth. I agree with you. But you brought their name and you held them in contempt and blaming the people of those counties for voting for them. That's what I said. They submit a document and you explain yourself.
No, but why
you said the people voted for corrupt people. But you yourself said they were not charged, not convicted. So I don't think you should have brought their name into the conversation.
In other words, you cannot say they are corrupt if they are not found guilty. That's why.
That's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying. So let me put it allegedly corrupt. Is that better?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. So the legal term. But I will say this to the people. My girl stood on TV and said, "I steal the money. At least I don't go build it. I don't go build things in foreign country. I build it here." That's what he said. People saw it and people voted for him.
As I said, my brother, in election, people that had the most resources, that had the most money, that had the most means, will most likely, not always, they will most likely win.
I'm glad you said not always.
Yeah, win the election will most likely win. That's the truth, my brother. But also, I wanted us to come to what we came here about the Article 42 in the Constitution of Liberia, about the immunity of...
We will go there. Just hold on, and we will continue that article because we didn't lay any premise for it today. But we're going to do that. We're going to take that article next week so we can just give an intro of that article. But those of you that are watching us, this is the Roundtable, Fortify City TV Roundtable, and we have with us in studio today Honorable Mengistu Wolokoli and Honorable To'o Griffiths, and they are here discussing trending events. We talk about parts of the orator's speech, especially with concentration on reference to America and Liberia relationship, and we will, open our lines, or our lines are open if you want to make contribution. Of course, you can call in or you can send your text, and we will call you out and or read your text as well. Now the numbers to call are Ablija Radio, which is 088-1166731-0775734774. Liberty Radio 07707777572, 088866940, and you can call WhatsApp number +1 952 201 9287. Again, the numbers are 088-1166731, 0775734774, 07707777572, 088866940, and +1 952 201 9287. So if you want to be part of this discussion, just join us by making a call, or you can just text us, and we will upload your text and read it, and so your voice can be heard as well. So we want to continue our discussion. We have an article here that we will look at briefly. Our legal minds, our legal counselors, they are not in studio today, but we're going to be looking at this article next week, Tuesday, when we come back here on the roundtable. This is Article 42. And let me see if I can read it. Print is a little bit small, but let me try. Article 42 said no member of the Senate or House of Representatives shall be arrested, detained, persecuted, or tried as a result of opinions expressed or votes cast in the exercise of the functions of his office. Members shall be privileged from arrest while attending, going to, or returning from sections of the legislature except for treason, felony, or breach of the peace. All official acts done or performed and all statement made in the chambers of the legislature shall be privileged, and no legislator shall be held accountable or punished thereof. So we see this huge immunity that is given to our lawmakers. So when we come back on Tuesday, we will be diving into this, and hopefully we can have our legal minds on set as well. But before before we pull down our article, I just want to refer to our panelists and say if they want to, just throw lights on this article before we round it up today. So I want to start with Honorable Majestu. Forgive me for calling you Honorable. It looks like I can't help it but call you Honorable. So
don't put me in there. Don't put me in that situation. Don't put me in a situation I can't handle.
She won't put you in trouble, my man.
Honorable.
I know, right?
She want the honorable to start coming after you now.
Exactly.
That's to tell you that seat they occupy is now a permanent seat. Anyone can occupy that seat as well.
That's right.
Oh, Mr. Walakali.
I don't think from what I'm reading to understand, they are saying that when they are on the floor of in the capacity of doing their job, they should not be persecuted. I think that's fair. That's my understanding. Anything outside of that, they can be arrested and persecuted. So,
okay, Honorable Griffiths, what do you think? What do you think?
I mean, the discharging one duty that is clearly stipulated in the field of their work, they always have protection. For example, if you are on the football pitch and playing a match, the players has immunity while playing. For example, if a player injure another player, most in the field of playing that do not result in extra fighting with hands and back and forth, right? But we're just playing the game and accidentally someone was injured through a play that was actually a play. The ref can give the maximum penalty of a red card. But outside of that match, if you go and break somebody's foot without a soccer match you're playing, right? It's a different thing. So this immunity, Liberian have had a big myth about it. That, you cannot arrest a lawmaker. You cannot arrest lawmakers that are elected for their whether 2-year or 4-year term. It's no. Again, when they discharging their duty, they got immunity to say whatever they're going to say, to defend their constituency without limit. But outside of their job, when they take money for their constituency. It's not in their job description. It's not in the article of the Constitution for a lawmaker to receive money on behalf of their constituency. That is not their duty. That is not their job.
Okay, time is fast spent, Mr. Griffiths. This article, this provisions here in the Constitution, we must look at it very critically, and I believe we're going to do so because there are lines in this article that is very vague, and it can mean anything. Take, for example, members shall be privileged from arrest while attending, going to, or returning for section of the legislature, except for treason, felony, and all that. Okay, there's another line. All official act done or perform. There are so many things that there need to be some clarity as we are. There should be some clarity or limitation placed. So should happen if or in the article. But like I said, our legal minds will be here, and hopefully we can look at the article in depth and properly dissect and digest it. So I would just want to pull up one or two of our comments from our viewers out there. And this person is Mr. Amos Y. He said, why it is true legally that when you are accused, you are not found guilty until you go through court of competent jurisdiction. But logically, when you are accused of any crime that has a dent on your character, you should clear your record through court before standing for another public office like the legislature. That's what this person is saying. So if you are accused, you should clear your name. Do you agree with him? And
yeah, it's a clear statement, but no one accused those people, so they were allowed to run, and they are there. And again, whatever crime they might have committed, as standing lawmakers, they are not immune if they are taken to court and documents are presented. They must attend court proceeding.
Okay.
And through the process, if they are found guilty, they can face the charges, and be prosecuted like any citizen.
Okay.
So being a lawmaker does not give you the immunity to say after your tenure of office before you will be prosecuted. That's not what that Constitution is saying.
We will look at that provision. We just introducing it. So our viewers can be prepared for next week Tuesday. Go ahead, Mr. Wolokoli.
Griffin, you are right about the legislature. The only person that cannot be prosecuted until they leave office is the president. So, but in response to the previous statement by Mr. Ware, Natana McGill and Bill Torrey, senators, told the people of Margibi and River says that they were stupid. That I don't have to have moral character. It don't matter about character, vote for me anyway. Anybody who have any moral fabric of their being will not have ran for office. But they don't care about themselves. Previously, you asked Mr. Griffin about why we don't do stuff in our country, and I think he at the beginning of the program, and he was explaining about the government not doing stuff. Correct? Am I
yes.
Paraphrasing?
The government have failed the people economically through empowerment.
But
yes,
this is what I would say. It's not the government; it's the administration that have came and took over. Each government have been in charge of government. The problem is, from my opinion, from my vantage point, is that the people who have been in the position of authority lacks vision. They have no vision. They are self-centered. lack integrity, don't understand the duties of presidents, of representatives, of superintendents, mayors. So that's why they continue to do what they are doing. In Africa, in Liberia, we follow our leaders. But the problem is that we have not had good leaders. We have had bad leaders. So that's why we continue to be where we are to this day.
That's
So
why.
people need to look at, is this person a leader, or is he just going there to be in a position of authority? We need to stop putting people on pedestal that in Liberia, you hear people when somebody's, this person's a scholar, this person is intellectual, this person's an intellect. And when you ask them, what make them a scholar? What make them an intellect? You see how the man talking? Okay, he's talking like everybody else. So, like I would take for example, former Representative Askawas Gray went on, I think Spoon, and said that they what's that law? The good conduct law. What is that? The good conduct law, something like that. He quoted an article stating that Samuel, the UP chairman was in violation of that law. The current Unity Party chair was in violation of the law. And this young man wanted to argue with me. I said, no, he's not in violation. There's nothing in the, I said, no law can supersede the Constitution. And when you read it, the code of conduct law, and he read it for himself, and he was like, so Askawas Gray was just talking. I said, yeah, that's what most of us will do, just run our mouth, but we're not quoting the law, and we think what we're quoting, and they just put stuff out, and they think everybody think, oh, that man is strong, Bobby is strong. He knows what he's talking about. Then when you turn it to show it, they can't show proof of what they are saying.
Okay,
we need to change that.
We want to stop here because our time is fast spent. I just gave you 1 minute each. Your closing statement. Since Majestu is already on, you just continue and close us, and then we'll come back to Mr. Griffiths.
Well, thank you again for having me. It's always a pleasure coming in here. To everybody listening in Radio Land and online, thank you for listening to us. The conversation was fruitful. I just met Mr. Griffin. I think we talked before. I can't remember. I think we have. Thank you, Pastor Patient, for having me on your platform. I appreciate it. Hope to invite you to my show so we can have some discussion too on the Eagle Talk with Dr. Kuta Kemen Murray and myself, the Black Eagle. But what we were all talking about when it comes to the Constitution, it comes to the orator, we have to understand. I think that we as Liberians, we like to put our finger at people and don't understand what's going on. We need to get away from that. We need to get away from too much celebration. We need to get back to working. I know, Pastor, you might get a little bit mad what I'm about to say. We need to build more factories than churches in Liberia. We need to build more factories than churches in Liberia.
So are you saying someone is stopping people from building factories? I mean, you build factories, people are going to work.
Let that statement fester.
Yeah.
Next week, ask me about it.
People need they need to work.
We need Jesus. That one we know.
I'm not against people working. In fact, I work a lot. And God Himself.
I know you work.
God Himself.
Let that statement fester.
God Himself worked 24 hours. He's working. So now we are made in the image and the likeness of God. God worked. The word of God says He works 6 days and rested only one.
Than churches. Let that statement fester. Next week we can tackle it.
Yeah, we'll be back.
I mean, it
Go
can be
ahead.
a whole topic for a day. A whole topic
No,
for
no,
a
no.
day.
On a serious note, I'm against Liberians or people stay in a church 24/7. It's unscriptural. God has set a model for us to follow. If He created the heaven and earth 6 days and He rested on the seventh day, then we should follow suit. You need to work, and you find that your time, in other words, the time for rest should be less, and the time for work should be more. So there's nothing wrong with building factory. So they need to build more. Let people work more. You can pray everywhere. God is everywhere. The Bible says He's everywhere. Go
I
ahead,
knew
Mr.
I knew that statement would hit the pastor a little bit.
Oh
My
my
time
God.
is up. I said what I said. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay,
I
look
tell
at that.
you, it will continue off here. I
We
know.
gotta talk about work. Seriously, the work ethics, the way people work, and the laziness that is going on in Liberia. There's a need for us to encourage the younger generation so they can work. And you can only talk about work when you yourself is an example of working. So, Mr. Gravex, your
Agreed.
closing comment, 1 minute.
Yeah, so it's been a fruitful discussion. Not everyone that is elected to the governmental position is a leader. Not everyone that occupy those positions are leader. Also, the orator comment about United States, it was wrong. It was out of place, and people have the right to look at her sideways. And I will advise Honorable Joseph Nyama-Bwaka administration, America is not the enemy of Liberia. So how that statement got into that speech, they need to look into it. And if they need to speak to the American ambassador there, they need to do it with clarity because it was offensive. Liberia, as we all said, we need to be responsible mostly for our own self. That's why every time I speak about Liberia, I bring accountability to our own government, to our own people. And anyone that has overtaken the Liberian economy, I believe if Liberian and their government unite to work for the economy of Liberia, no other country is going to have a greater economic power in Liberia than Liberia and their government. So I will always appreciate the foreigners that do investment in Liberia, while I hold Liberian government and people accountable to become more involved and become greater than these foreigners without discriminating against those foreigners.
Thank you.
Because discrimination anywhere should be fought against. Inclusion and protecting everybody should be, a goal for every human being, whatever it is.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. We want to say thank you to every one of you out there that joined us today. This has been the roundtable discussion. We will be back here on Tuesday and Thursday as usual, 5 p.m. Liberian time and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 12 noon Central Standard Time. It has been a pleasure having on this platform our panelists, Honorable Majestu Wolokoli and Honorable Tom Griffiths. So I want to say thank you. You are very, very much appreciated, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the platform anytime soon. Also, our viewers out there and those that send in their comments, of course, we're going to have time next week, Tuesday, more time for your calls. So please get ready to partake, and we're looking forward to that. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and we see again by His grace. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.